Hello guys, this is Agnieszka from Den of Imagination and welcome to Giant Constrictor Snake tutorial from Dungeons & Dragons Wizkids model series. This is a basic level painting tutorial, so if you are new to the painting world, this tutorial is just for you. And for this tutorial, you're gonna need black, yellow, green, khaki, pale sand, military green, white, dark red, dark vermilion, and neutral gray. Today we are going to paint Giant Constrictor Snake, and for the first step, we are going to paint this model whole black. The paint we are going to use is the black paint from Vallejo model color, and then we are going to use the biggest brush we have, which is white brush size 10. It will make our work faster. So we are going to paint this model black because I want our colors to be deeper than normal, and because this model is primed already with very light color of primer, the colors would go lighter than expected. That's why for the first thing I am going to use black paint as a first base coat, and also because we are not going to use washes, this black paint will be our shadow. So let's get to it. And also before I will start, I will take blue tack and I will put this model and connect him with the cork base, so I will have a better grip on it and I will not be touching the model whatsoever. So for the first layer, remember that you don't have to put like a very thick layer. It's absolutely okay for you to make two thin layers than one thick one. And remember to mix your paint with water to make it more fluid-like. So it will be easier for you to paint with it. Alright, so now our base coat is ready and completely dry. And the second step that we are going to proceed with is to create a first layer of the color. And for that I am going to use the color yellow-green and the white brush size 6. What I'm going to do is to use kind of the dry brush technique, but more thick one. Normally when you're using dry brush, you're cleaning your brush with the paper towel until you have like a mist effect on the towel. But this time I am going to stop in the middle of this process to have more thicker paint on the brush. I'm going to exactly show you what I mean. Taking it on the tip of my dry brush. And while I am taking the excess off, I am not wiping it off completely. I am staying with this kind of thick layer of paint on the tip. And the same with the dry brush, I am just starting to stroke my model according to how the skin of the snake is going to. And now, since our first highlight on the scales are done, we can make a first highlight on the belly. And for this, I'm going to use khaki color and the same brush, which is white brush size 6, because we are still going to stick to dry brush technique. So now we are going to create another level of highlight for the skin, and for that I am going to use pale sand color, and I'm going to stick to the wide brush size 6 because we are going to do the dry brush. As now as our basic highlight is finished, I can now paint the dots on the skin of the snake with the black color as the basic color. So this is the paint I'm going to use. This is black color from Model Series, and I'm going to switch my brush for the round brush size 3. And what I'm going to do is to just paint with black paint the dots on the skin that mimic the pattern on the box art. And now I'm going to use the green paint to give them a green shadow that matches the color of the snake skin. And for that I'm going to use the military green and the same brush, which is round brush size 3. So since my pattern is ready, now what I'm going to do is to add the last highlight on the skin, and I am going to use dry brush technique again, but I'm going to choose only like very specific places to highlight the skin with the white, because white is very strong color and I don't want to overstrain the rest of the body. Color of white from Model Series, and of course the wide brush size 6. Now our skin is ready, and because of this I'm going to move forward to another parts of the body that are still unpainted. So I'm going to paint the mouth of the snake. For this I'm going to use the dark red color as a basic color and round brush size 3. This is just base coating, so there is no really like philosophy in it, just taking your paint and painting the model. Alright, now because I have this base coat layer for the mouth, I'm going to use another color for the tongue, dark vermilion, and I'm going to paint it with round brush size 3. And this color will give us a nice difference between one part and another. Alright, now the mouth is ready, so I'm going to paint the teeth of the snake. And the first color that I'm going to use is khaki. And of course, the brush that I'm going to use is round brush size 3. And now for the teeth and highlights, I'm going to use white color and round brush size 3. As for the technique, I'm going to use glaze. So with the glaze is that you're mixing your paint with more water than usual to have it half transparent, and then using this paint to create this color shading on the part that you're painting right now. The last part that we have to do are the eyes. So for the first step for the eyes, I'm going to take black paint and make dark shadows around the eyes. I'm also going to use eyes and paint the dots on the Nolzur'S to make them more visible. The first paint I'm going to use is black, and I'm going to stick with the round brush size 3. So if you will look closely at the box art, the snake has green eyes, very familiar to the color of his skin. So I'm going to use the yellow-green that I've used on the skin previously. And of course, I am going to use the round brush size 3. Now I'm going to create a blick of lights on the eyes, And afterwards I'm going to make the pupils. But first the blicks. And the blicks of lights I'm going to just use the white paint and the round brush size 3. And the last steps for the eyes, which are black pupils. And I'm going to use the black paint and the tip of my round brush size 3. And the pupils for snakes are like lines, which are going in this direction. So what I'm going to do is to just paint very thin line on the eyes of the snake. So our snake is ready. So the last thing that is going to be done is the base. And the first color for the base is neutral gray. And I'm going to change my brush for the white brush size 3 because I'm going to use dry brush to highlight the base. Now I'm going to use a little bit of white paint to add light on this base to make it more realistic. So I'm going just to use the white paint and the same brush, white brush size 6, because I will stick to dry brush and that will be the last step that I'm going to do on this model. So now the model is ready. Congratulations, and I'll see you soon with another tutorial. Hope that you enjoyed this painting tutorial. Be sure to share your results on social media and tag us Den of Imagination. We would really like to see your results. If you have any questions about the tutorial or you would like to see a particular miniature painted, please leave it on the comment section below. Also, please click the subscribe button and bell notification, it helps the channel. See ya!